More often than not, if you encounter something that is giving you problems, there is more than one way to do it. Hey everybody, hope you're having a wonderful day today. A special thank you to Enya Music for sponsoring this video. If you're new here, hi, my name is Katie. I am a music teacher here on YouTube, as well as I have my own private studio. I teach voice, guitar, ukulele, music theory, and I love helping my students get to that next musical level, no matter what that may be. Have you ever been learning a song and then you see the E chord and you think, okay, yeah, I'll give it a try. Wait, what is this? Majority of my students, when they first see that E chord, they are not happy. Yeah, it takes some getting used to. It is not impossible, but for a lot of people, it just really ends up being frustrating. So I'm here to tell you that there are some different voicings that you could use in order to play this E chord. Hopefully it'll be able to open up some new doors for you where you don't feel as frustrated and blocked by this particular voicing of the E chord. I do have another video that I made a couple years ago about 5 different ways to play the E chord. I'm going to link that in the cards above and the description box below, just in case you're curious. But here I'm going to show you 3 new voicings, and I hope you enjoy them. So the first one, I call it kind of like a truncated version, a smaller version of this bar chord right here. Index finger is going to remain on the 2nd fret of the A string, and now I'm going to take fingers 2 and 3, or you could take fingers 3 and 4, place that on the 4th fret of the C and the E strings. Now my thumb is going to curl over and just lightly touch the G string, and it mutes the string. So when I strum, all you hear are these 3 strings playing. Now muting with your thumb does take a little bit of practice, but never fear if that's something that it's not working for you. It's okay. What you can do is you can take your middle finger or finger number 2 on your chording hand and then lay it slightly flat so that the very tip of your middle finger is muting that G string instead. So you are pushing down on the string like this, but that middle finger is also doing a double, so to speak. So you're going to be muting and pushing down on a string. So hopefully that helps. The next one I learned from a student of mine. She was playing an E7 shape like this, but she was only pushing down on the strings with the 1st finger and the 3rd finger on the 1st string and the 4th string. Here, finger number 2 was just lightly touching string number 3, so it mutes it. Yeah, so you might have to get used to it because you're telling essentially your hand to only push down with index and ring finger, or fingers 1 and 3 on your chording hand, and then lightly touching that C string to create that E chord, because if you push down, it's E7. Playing an E7 shape in the place of an E chord, that doesn't always work. Sometimes you can replace it. Sometimes it just doesn't sound right. But if you mute that string, you have an E chord. This next voicing works really well, especially if you're transitioning from a C sharp minor to an E chord. So when you're working in the key of E, C sharp minor is the relative minor of E. So I bar the 4th fret, and then my ring finger, or finger number 3, is going to be pushing down on the 6th fret of the G string. So there is a C sharp minor. Now from here, bar the 4th fret, continue to do so, lift off your ring finger, place your pinky, or whatever finger works. I like to use my pinky because this is a bit of a stretch here, let's be honest. I take my pinky or finger number 4 and then I place that on the 7th fret of the A string. So when you're transitioning between your C sharp minor to an E, that might be a voicing that would work better than doing some finger gymnastics of here's C sharp minor, and then we go to here. Unless you're used to it, that's totally fine. But this is an option that I think you should know just in case. Now, is this voicing going to be the best for whatever song that you choose? It may be, it may not be. It just really depends upon the piece, where it occurs in the piece. So you have to experiment and see if it works for you. Something that I also really like about this E chord is that when you're barring seems to be the most difficult when you're closest to the nut, because the greatest amount of tension on your ukulele strings you're going to find are going to be here toward the nut and here toward the bridge and saddle. The tension is going to be greater. My students find, and also I find too, that the more you travel up the neck, more toward the middle of the neck, you start to feel less tension when you bar. So that's something that can be a lot less intimidating. I know a lot of people think, oh my goodness, you're barring the 4th fret. Please don't do that. Don't mention the bar chord. Oh. But give it a try on the 4th fret. You actually might find that it's easier to play a bar chord more so toward the middle of the neck than toward the nut. Those are my 3 E chord alternatives, and let me know if there's something else that you would like to see. More often than not, if you encounter something that is giving you problems, there is more than one way to do it. I mean, just to say that there's only just one way to do something, I mean, usually there are some other alternatives and tips and things like that that would be able to help you navigate through a certain chord or a technique. There's usually more than one way, all right? Whether there's a will, there's a way, okay? Remember, you are loved, love to hear from you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. A special thank you to Enya Music for sponsoring this video. This ukulele was sent to me by Enya. The link in the description box below is an affiliate link, so that means if you shop through my link, that a small portion of that sale goes back to supporting my channel. So thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next one.